We'll make copies available to members. And in fact, I'll refer it even to...
Mr. Speaker, you know the finance minister was once upon a time a minority leader. There are certain aspects of him that I want, Mr. Speaker, to put him on notice. At the dispatch box, there is no point of order against you. So stick to your statements. Don't abuse the opportunity that Mr. Speaker will give you. Just the statement you brought, which was prepared, stick to it. Don't be throwing jabs because we won't have the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I know him. He has notoriety for running away with certain jabs. You promised 6,000 per bag. You've reduced it to 2,500 per bag. And you chose to announce it in your office. You didn't come to Parliament. Go and do your statement. Don't say anything outside of your statement. Mr. Speaker, thank you so much. Let him comply.
Honorable members, you leave that one to me. I'll handle it. It's good that you draw my attention. Yes, Minister, please, the House is ready to listen to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, permit me to extend my profound gratitude to you and to honorable members of this House for the opportunity to present this important policy statement of government and country. Right Honorable Speaker, Ghana achieved a decisive macroeconomic turnaround in 2025 following the 2022-2023 economic crisis by the end of 2025. The Speaker, real GDP growth averaged 6.1% in first 3 quarters of 2025. Inflation declined sharply from 23.8% in 2024 to 5.4% and further down to 3.8% in January 2026. Mr. Speaker, interest rate fell sharply, with 91-day Treasury bill dropping from 27.7% at the end of 2024 to 11.1% in December and further down to 6.4% in February 2026. The primary balance on commitment basis improved significantly from a deficit of 3% in 2024 to a surplus of 2.6% in the year 2025. Right Honorable Speaker, public debt declined sharply from 61.8% of GDP in 2024 to 45.3% of GDP in 2025. The current account posted a surplus of $9.1 billion, up from $1.5 billion in 2024. The Speaker, the cedi appreciated by 40.7% against the US dollar, 30.9% against the British pound, and 24% against the euro. And the gross international reserves also increased to $13.8 billion United States dollars, representing 5.7 months of import cover from 8.9 billion United States dollars, equivalent to 4 months of import cover. Right Honorable Speaker, the current gross international reserves level is above the traditional reserve benchmark of 3 months of import cover. This is, however, not sufficient to provide adequate self-insurance against disruptive economic shocks and its impact on the exchange rate, like the historical depreciation of the currency in the year 2022 and 2023. To strengthen Ghana's resilience to economic shocks, Cabinet has approved the Ghana Accelerated National Reserve Accumulation Policy. The policy represents Ghana's strategic plan to strengthen external resilience by increasing the nation's international reserve equivalent of 15 months of import cover by end 2028. So, Speaker, this policy is anchored on the objectives of the Ghana Gold Board Act, Act 1140, which mandates the Ghana Gold Board to generate foreign exchange for the country and support gold reserves accumulation by the Bank of Ghana. The policy is also informed by the country's cycle of economic downturns, recent macroeconomic development, global risk assessment, and Ghana's long-term economic transformation agenda. Mr. Speaker, historically, Ghana has relied heavily on inflows from gold, cocoa, and crude oil exports to build international reserves. However, over the last decade, the country has relied largely on costly swaps, sale and buybacks, and other short-term facilities, as well as Eurobond borrowings to build international reserves, resulting in significant debt service obligation to the people of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, these developments in the last decade led to the unsustainable debt situation in 2022, the resultant debt default and restructuring, haircut, and subsequent requests for IMF-supported ECF program. Mr. Speaker, I repeat, these developments in the last decade led to the unsustainable debt situation in 2022 and the resultant debt default and its resulting haircut and subsequent request for IMF program. Mr. Speaker, despite cocoa's historical importance, its contribution to sustainable foreign exchange stability has been undermined by price volatility, low production, climate risk, and limited value addition. Crude oil, which initially promised to provide fiscal relief and balance of payment support, is now declining very fast due to lack of investment in the last 8 years and waning investor confidence, resulting in 6 years of consistent oil output decline. Right, Honorable Speaker, despite the progress made in 2025, growing global uncertainties make Ghana vulnerable to external financing volatilities, commodity price cycles, global geopolitical tensions, climate-related disruptions, and regional security risk. These have simultaneously lifted gold prices to historic high and provided an opportunity for Ghana to build reserves to secure the country's external sector against any major shock, to strengthen Ghana's first line of defense. Mr. Speaker, given these uncertainties, the conventional threshold of 3 months of import cover is no longer adequate for any country. Government therefore seeks to accumulate a strategic buffer beyond the conventional reserve adequacy levels and build an economic war chest of 15 months of import cover by end 2028. And this is to safeguard macroeconomic stability, break the cycle of economic downturns, sustain confidence in the currency, and improve investor confidence. Also to reduce exposure to external shocks and support long-term economic transformation of our dear country. Mr. Speaker, the objective of this policy is to build reserves to 15 months of import cover to support Ghana's long-term economic transformation without compromising economic stability. Historically, Mr. Speaker, this strategy is not new globally. After the 1997 Asian financial crisis, the most affected countries embarked on aggressive foreign exchange reserve accumulation as a key policy response. This was driven largely by a desire for self-insurance against future sudden capital reversals and crises following the traumatic experience of relying on IMF bailout, which came with some strict conditionalities. Mr. Speaker, this helped these economies far much better during the later shocks like the 2008 global financial crisis without depleting their external reserves. Right, Honorable Speaker, a diagnosis of Ghana's reserve trajectory shows a pattern of episodic accumulation linked to opportunistic external borrowing and seasonal cocoa outflows, followed by downturns, drawdowns to meet external obligations. The Speaker, clearly, you could see from the chart below that over the years, government of Ghana has been building reserves largely from Eurobond borrowings and borrowing from the IMF over the last few years. The Speaker, from a reserve position of 5.4 months of import cover in 2021, following an Eurobond issuance of $3 billion United States dollars. Reserves sharply declined to a low of under 2.3 months of import cover in September 2023, thereby triggering the depreciation of our currency. The depreciation reflected a strain on external buffers in the face of constrained financial options, capital outflows, heightened macroeconomic pressures, and the need to meet critical foreign exchange obligations such as debt repayment. Right Honorable Speaker, global gold prices have reached unprecedented levels, driven by heightened international risk, sustained accumulation by central banks, and strong safe haven demand. These developments significantly boosted export earnings and strengthened external buffers for gold-producing economies, including Ghana. Mr. Speaker, with prices far exceeding their long-term historical averages, gold has emerged as the most reliable and immediate instrument for accelerating reserve accumulation without increasing public debt or introducing distortions in domestic market. Projections from major international financial institutions indicate that gold prices are likely to remain elevated and favorable over the medium term, underscoring the resilience and persistence of the current price cycle. Right Honorable Speaker, the outlook for gold prices provided a solid foundation for policies that strengthen external buffers, reduce vulnerability to external shock, and support long-term financial stability of Ghana. Harnessing this momentum will be essential to building a more robust and resilient reserve management framework capable of withstanding future global volatilities. The sustained elevation in global gold price presents a strategic opportunity for gold-producing countries to further enhance their reserve build-up framework, reinforce their external position, and enhance macroeconomic resilience. The Speaker, major gold-producing countries and central banks are capitalizing on historical high gold prices by increasing production, export, and official purchases to strengthen their external buffers. China, the world's largest producer of gold, continues to expand its domestic refinery capacity and use gold both as a key export and as a strategic reserve asset for diversification. Similarly, Mr. Speaker, Russia has leveraged on this elevated price environment to boost gold export revenues and channel part of the proceeds into reserve accumulation, using gold as a shock absorber against financial sanctions and global volatility. Mr. Speaker, Australia benefited from high prices through stronger export receipts, improved terms of trade, and higher fiscal and external surplus, which indirectly support reserve strength. Right Honorable Speaker, across these countries, elevated gold prices are being deliberately used to enhance the foreign exchange inflows, support balance of payment, resilience, and reinforce reserve position amid heightened global uncertainty. This current gold price surge presents a timely opportunity for Ghana to leverage the country's gold resources to accelerate reserve accumulation and reinforce long-term external resilience for our country. Right Honorable Speaker, the primary objective of the Ghana National Reserve Accumulation Policy is to increase Ghana's international reserve to 15 months of import cover by the end of 2028 to support long-term structural transformation while safeguarding the macroeconomic stability. To achieve this, the following intermediate targets are set. First is to achieve a minimum of 8.6 months of import cover by end of this year, 2026. Second, to exceed 11.8 months by end of 2027. and third, to reach 15 months of import cover by end of 2028. Mr. Speaker, these milestones will be reviewed annually based on realized imports, prices, production volumes, and financing conditions. Right, Honorable Speaker, our gross international reserves at 5.7 months of import cover at the end of 2025, the gap to achieve the target of 15 months of import cover is 9.3 months of import cover. This implies an average annual accumulation of 3.1 months of import cover over the next 3 years. In 2025, Ghana accumulated additional gross international reserves of 1.6 months of import cover. This provides momentum for the country, but must be accelerated to achieve an average of 3.1 months of import cover in the shortest possible time. Mr. Speaker, to secure the target after netting out debt service, FX operations, energy sector payment, and statutory outflows, the strategy requires an average of 9.5 billion United States dollars annual additions to the country's gross international reserves. Mr. Speaker, to achieve this, the reserve accumulation target, the GANRAP has set an operational weekly gold purchase target of about 3 tons per week. At 3 tons per week and a price of $5,000 per ounce, gross receipts are projected at approximately 25.28 billion United States dollars annually. Mr. Speaker, Ghana's strategy for the acquisition of 3 tons of gold per week is in two folds. The first is the Ghana Gold Board to acquire up to 2.4 tons of gold per week from artisanal small-scale mining sector. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Finance will be making budgetary allocation to the Ghana Gold Board to achieve the objectives. The second, Mr. Speaker, the Ministry for Land and Natural Resources is to invoke the preemption right under Section 3D of the Ghana Gold Board Act 2025 Act 1140 and Section 7 of the Minerals and Mining Act 703 to purchase a minimum of 0.5 tons of gold per week from large-scale gold mines. Right, Honorable Speaker, the Bank of Ghana will purchase the gold acquired from large-scale mining sector. The gold purchased under Section 3D of the Gold Board Act and Section 7 of the Minerals and Mining Act 2006 shall only be sold by the Central Bank subject to prior approval of Cabinet and Parliament. Mr. Speaker, the following measures will be implemented in the short to medium term. Right, Honorable Speaker, measures on large-scale sector operations. A change in the current acquisition arrangement of the 20% large-scale gold output by the Bank of Ghana will be implemented in the short term. First, to ensure compliance by the large-scale mining companies, government shall establish an interagency committee co-chaired by the Minister responsible for Lands and Natural Resources and the Minister of Finance, with membership from the Governor, from the Bank of Ghana, and the Chief Executive of the Minerals Commission and the Ghana Gold Board. The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources shall invoke the preemption right under Section 3D of the Ghana Gold Board Act to purchase a minimum of 20% of large-scale gold output, which translates to a minimum of 0.57 tons of gold per week. The gold acquired from the large-scale mining sector shall strictly be in the form of doré and processed in Ghana to promote local value addition. The transaction shall be in cedis only at the prevailing interbank exchange rate and at a discount to be determined by the parties. The applicable discount rate shall be determined based on volume between the Government of Ghana and the large-scale mining companies. Right, Honorable Speaker, the gold purchased in doré under this new acquisition arrangement shall be refined by local gold refineries, shipped to LBMA refineries for melting, bar casting, and stamping, and added to the country's fiscal gold reserves. Mr. Speaker, this gold shall only be sold by the Central Bank subject to prior approval of Cabinet and Parliament. Mr. Speaker, these measures will ensure strict enforcement of commitment by large-scale mining firms, local value retention, transparency, good governance, and acquisition cost reduction, while supporting local gold refineries to attain an LBMA certification and standards. Mr. Speaker, the Ghana Gold Board, as the national assayer, is strategically positioned to enforce this newly proposed acquisition arrangement as it maintains field officers in gold rooms of all large-scale mining firms and assess samples from large-scale gold output before export. Mr. Speaker, the Ghana Gold Board has successfully piloted this new acquisition arrangement with 9 large-scale mining firms in the last 6 months. Mr. Speaker, the Ghana Gold Board will put in place a strategy to efficiently mop adequate volumes of ASM gold output, minimum of 2.45 tons weekly, through official channels to generate adequate foreign exchange for the country. Over the next 3 years, the Ghana Gold Board aimed to mop up about 127 tons of ASM gold per annum. Mr. Speaker, to achieve this objective in an efficient manner, the following policy measures will be implemented in the artisanal small-scale mining sector. The first, Ghana Gold Board shall arrange enough funds to acquire about 3 to 4 weeks of gold and ensure continuous market participation. Mr. Speaker, the Ghana Gold Board will assume full responsibility for the signing of off-take arrangement and the sale of all ASM gold it procures effective from March 2026. This will ensure effective end-to-end trading with off-takers and mitigate trading losses whilst pursuing trading gains for the country. Right, Honorable Speaker, the Ghana Gold Board shall deploy effective gold-backed derivative trading programs and hedging strategies to mitigate market risk. Mr. Speaker, again, to disincentivize smuggling and ensure that adequate volumes of ASM gold are purchased, the Ghana Gold Board may employ price incentives through spot world market price purchases and bonuses for licensed miners. Mr. Speaker, in the medium term, the Ghana Gold Board will promote ASM formalization, value chain traceability, and local gold refinery to further reduce costs whilst maximizing return from gold export in a sustainable manner. The Bank of Ghana and the Ghana Gold Board shall sign an agreement which mandates Ghana Gold Board to sell all foreign exchange accrued under this policy to the Bank of Ghana only. Mr. Speaker, at a cost to be determined by the two parties. The Ghana Gold Board is also to facilitate the establishment of a modern LBMA compliant processing plant in partnership with private investors to optimize recovery, participation, particularly in the ASM sector, and promote sustainability. Special effort in the form of nationwide water body cleansing campaign within designated mining areas will be undertaken by the Ghana Armed Forces. Mr. Speaker, the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, NIMOS, shall intensify the activities against illegal mining, especially illegal mining activities in water bodies and forest reserves. Right, Honorable Speaker, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and the Ghana Gold Board shall support and scale up sustainable initiatives such as the land reclamation. Mr. Speaker, government will deepen structural reforms that expand foreign exchange inflows whilst reducing persistent FX outflows. Key policy areas will include enhancement of non-traditional export, cocoa sector recovery, implementation of national policy on integrated oil palm development, remittance mobilization, developing new oil fields, Mr. Speaker, energy sector FS savings, all to ensure that we can actually save more forests. Right, Honorable Speaker, the implementation of gas to power transformation policy will also significantly conserve the country's foreign exchange reserve, making way for sustainable reserve accumulation. The gas to power policy measure include the construction of state-owned 1,200. 1,200. Mr. Speaker, the gas to power policy measure include the construction of a state-owned 1,200 power plant, construction of a second gas processing plant, and revamping of oil and gas sector to attract investment into upstream petroleum sector. Right, Honorable Speaker. Most importantly, maintaining fiscal discipline at primary surplus level is critical to slow down the pace of foreign exchange reserve depletion. Mr. Speaker, in the last 8 years, the Bank of Ghana has relied on swaps, sale and buybacks, and other short-term facilities to build reserves. This has been done at a very high cost. In 2002, 2003, 2004, the Bank of, in 2022, 2023, and 2024, the Bank of Ghana accumulated reserves of about $3 billion United States dollars, $2 billion United States dollars, and $650 million United States dollars, at a cost of $615 million United States dollars, $476 million United States dollars, and $67 million United States dollars respectively, through swaps and sale and buybacks. Mr. Speaker, in these years, from 2022 to 2024, the Bank of Ghana accumulated reserves of $5.65 billion United States dollars from swaps, sale and buybacks at a cost of $1.16 billion United States dollars in interest payment only. Right, Honorable Speaker. Between 2022 to 2024, the Central Bank, Bank of Ghana, accumulated reserves of $5.65 billion United States dollars from swaps and sale and buybacks at a cost of $1.16 billion United States dollars in interest payment only. The Bank of Ghana also borrowed from international commercial banks such as JP Morgan, Standard Chartered Bank, and Citibank to the tune of $2 billion United States dollars between 2018 and 2021 at a cost of $182 billion United States dollars. In 2017 alone, government relied on inflows from the issuance of $2.25 billion United States dollars bond from Franklin Templeton to support reserve buildup. Mr. Speaker, the inflows of $2.25 billion United States dollars from Franklin Templeton to partake in the domestic bond issuance of early 2017 cost the nation about 7.3 billion Ghana cedis in interest payment alone between 2017 and 2022. Mr. Speaker, between 2018 and 2021, Ghana again relied heavily on external borrowings to support reserve buildup. A total of $11 billion and 25 million United States dollars was borrowed through Eurobonds by government from the Eurobond market during the period. This came at a very high cost, ranging from 7.6% and 9.6% per annum. Mr. Speaker, the issuance of the 11 billion euro bonds from 2018 to 2021 to support reserve buildup costed Ghana the following. In 2018, it costed Ghana 81.26 billion United States dollars. In 2019, it costed us 287.58 million United States dollars. In 2020, Ghana had to pay interest only $524.6 million United States dollars. In 2021, Ghana had to pay $740.77 million United States dollars. Mr. Speaker, and in 2022, the country had to pay in interest only $844.83 million United States dollars. In total, Mr. Speaker, Eurobond borrowed between 2018 and 2021 to support reserve buildup costed the taxpayer about 2.5 billion United States dollars in interest payment alone. Right, Honorable Speaker, it should be noted that Ghana is still servicing this debt following the end 2022 debt default. The Speaker, in 2026 alone, Ghana is required to pay 1.5 billion United States dollars in debt servicing due to this Eurobond debt. The Speaker, at the peak of the 2022 economic crisis, Ghana lost access to the international capital market and was in dire need of foreign exchange. Government of Ghana once again resorted to expensive borrowing of 200 million euros, $196.58 million and 350 million euros from the Afrexim Bank at an all-in cost of 6.49% and 9.5% and 9.33% per annum respectively to support reserve buildup. Evidently, all these borrowings from 2017 to 2022 were not enough to stabilize the Ghana cedis, leading to depletion of the reserves to unprecedented levels and significant depreciation of the currency. Mr. Speaker, evidently, borrowings from 2017 to 2022 were not enough to stabilize the Ghana cedi, leading to the depletion of the reserves to unprecedented levels and the significant depreciation of the Ghana cedi. It is obvious that borrowing to support reserve accumulation is unsustainable and leads to high debt distress and debt overhang. Mr. Speaker, between 2017 and 2024, the Bank of Ghana and the Ministry of Finance collectively borrowed to the tune of $21.7 billion to support reserve buildup at an interest cost of $3.84 billion and 7.3 billion Ghana cedis through Franklin Templeton interest payment. Mr. Speaker, if government of Ghana had borrowed 10 billion at the 2025 yield of 8%, the cost to the nation would have been $800 million in just 1 year. Mr. Speaker, the cost of accumulation reserves through Ghana Gold Board in the year 2025 was significantly lower than the cost of Ghana's 2022-2023 swaps and sale and buybacks. Mr. Speaker, the evidence is so clear. Right, Honorable Speaker. In addition to the comparable lower costs of the Ghana Gold Board model, the activities of the Ghana Gold Board have been instrumental in restoring macroeconomic stability in Ghana. Right, Honorable Speaker, in 2025, some of the benefits include the following: significant international reserve accumulation, historic appreciation of the Ghana cedi, significant reduction in inflation, significant improvement in debt sustainability, and significant savings in the servicing of government external obligation, interest costs, amortization, payment, and IPP costs. Right, Honorable Speaker, these macroeconomic gains have delivered meaningful relief to households and businesses through the reduction in fuel prices, food prices, cost of doing business, and cost of living. Mr. Speaker, government will adopt proactive approach to risk management under the Ghana Accelerated National Reserve Accumulation Policy. Price risk will be mitigated through hedging mechanism and complemented by other trading models. Production risk will be addressed by modernizing mining, processing technology, and diversifying production sites. Mr. Speaker, governance risk will be mitigated through independent audits and enhanced transparency. Environmental and social risk will be addressed through intensified enforcement of anti-illegal mining laws, targeted reclamation, alternative livelihood programs, and community engagement programs. Right, Honorable Speaker, this structured approach aims to transform mining from a volatile revenue source into a stable, transparent, socially and environmentally responsible pillar for macroeconomic stability. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, this reserve accumulation policy provides a clear, actionable, and forward-looking framework to enhance Ghana's external resilience. Ghana is positioned to achieve and sustain reserve equivalent to 15 months of import cover by end 2028. Mr. Speaker, this will be the first time ever in the history of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, for emphasis, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah inherited reserves of 11 months of import cover. We strive to achieve 15 months of import cover by 2028. Mr. Speaker, government remains committed to execute Mr. Speaker, government remain committed to executing this policy with discipline, transparency, and national consensus. The long-term objective is clear. Build an economic war chest to withstand global economic shocks, to secure macroeconomic stability, sustain the economic gains made, improve the standard of living of Ghanaians, and build lasting national prosperity for our future generation. Right, Honorable Speaker, on this historic occasion, I call on this august House to consider and approve Ghana's first national policy deliberately designed to build external reserves and secure the future of our country. Mr. Speaker, I so submit.
Honorable members, we've listened to the statement by the Minister of Finance, but the statement has gone beyond the ambit of statement. It ended by calling on the House to consider and approve Ghana's first national policy deliberately designed to build external reserves and secure the future of our country. If we have to approve, then it has to be a motion. And so a statement has been made. I will take some comments, but I will have to refer it to the appropriate committee, that is the Finance Committee, to come by way of a motion, which will be debated, and then we can give our approval. Usually, we don't give approval to statements. We make comments. But these are matters that members may want to make inputs. And so it goes beyond that. You have to make inputs and you have to give your verdict by approving or disapproving. And that means that it has to come by motion. So today we'll take a few comments, and in consultation with leaders, it has been decided that we'll take 4 from each side of the House, 3 members and 1 leader per side of the House. And since the Minister for Finance is coming from the majority side, and he has presented the statement, we'll take the first comments from the minority side. And therefore, the list that has been given to me, if I'm to go by it, according to precedents, it will be Honorable Dr. Gideon Boakun, and I'm told you are limited to 5 minutes commentary. 5 minutes, Doctor. The 5 minutes starts from now.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity granted me to comment on the statement made by the Finance Minister on the Ghana Accelerated National Reserve Accumulation Policy. Mr. Speaker, I've listened to the Minister and as you referred to the Finance Committee, we'll wait until then. But before then, I wish to make these preliminary comments. Listening to the Finance Minister, it is important that we agree that Ghana, where we have gotten to, need to accumulate enough reserves to anchor our currency and protect safeguards for the economy. Mr. Speaker, the Finance Minister has stated that this is the first time Ghana is having such a bold policy. I wish to differ in opinion that this whole policy hinges on gold, and it is important that we stress that the policy to accumulate gold to shore up our currency and provide other benefits to the economy is not the first time we are having such a policy. In fact, as the Minister is aware, somewhere in 2021-2022, the Bank of Ghana embarked on the Domestic Gold Purchase Program and the Gold for Reserves Program under the leadership of the former Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. It is this policy that has anchored our currency to today. It is important that today this government has realized the need to increase our gold reserves, and therefore is coming to Parliament with this policy. This is how we should govern. And Mr. Speaker, I wish to state that I would have loved that when it came to the point of having cocoa haircuts for cocoa farmers, the same policy should have come to Parliament for us to debate on, as the Minister is doing today. Mr. Speaker, it is an undeniable fact that Ghana holds a strategic position in gold production in the world and Africa. Despite this, the level of Ghana's gold holdings is quite anemic relative to the Total Holdings Institute. And therefore, it is important that as a country, we make steps to accumulate more gold. Mr. Speaker, if this is the position of government, and rightly so as presented by the finance minister, I begs the question, why this government decided to sell portions of the gold that they inherited as accumulated for this country. Mr. Speaker, before the assumption of this government, we had increased Ghana's gold reserves from 8 tons to 32 tons, and the government came to increase it to 38 tons, but today, as we speak, half of our gold reserves has been sold by this government. If the policy intention of government is to accumulate more gold to support the economy, why did the government decide to sell gold that was already existing before they came into power? I heard the argument that we needed to sell that gold because we needed liquidity in forests. Yes, it is important that foreign exchange provides liquidity for the economy, but gold reserves also provides monetary solidity and market confidence. We need both as a country in order to thrive in the globally changing economic system. And that is why we from the minority side, we support any attempt by government to shore up our currency, to shore up our economy with gold reserves. But Mr. Speaker, it is important. What is missing from the minister's presentation is the lack of clarity as to whether or not we are moving 100% to gold reserves, or we are moving 100% to foreign exchange reserves, or we are having a balancing mix. It is important that we manage our gold accumulation within a certain composition mix ratio, such that we have enough foreign exchange in terms of fiat money for liquidity, and also have gold. It is not clear from the minister's policy presentation whether or not we are moving straightly to 100% accumulation of gold or 100% accumulation of FS reserves, or we are having a balancing of the two. Gold reserves is not the same as foreign exchange reserves, although gold reserves can be liquidated to get foreign exchange. So we need to have clarity on that. It is also important to know from the minister's presentation, and that is lacking, how we are going to finance the purchases of this gold. Gold Board came into being by changing the name from PMC to Gold Board with an act. The minister had told this parliament the government of Ghana was going to finance Gold Board. We never saw any action in that regard, although there were budgetary provisions for that. The minister never acted on that, only to realize that the Bank of Ghana was rather pumping money to support Gold Board. But Mr. Speaker, the minister talks about the achievement that has been made in the foreign exchange market by way of the stability of the city. That is fantastic. But it is important for the minister to note that it does not make economic sense to pump over $10 billion in cedi foreign exchange intervention and only reduce the rate from 14 to about 11 to 12, when in the past, under the previous government, the rate was reduced from 16 to 14 without a $10 billion intervention in the economy.
Honorable Member, your time is up.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. You've done very well with your comments. We'll move on to the other side and we'll listen to Honorable Isaac Adongo. Please, 5 minutes from now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
Honorable members,
want to thank
Speaker
the
to take
Minister
the chair.
for Finance.
Sorry, I've taken one of your minutes.
His Excellency.
Fair Deputy Speaker to take the chair. So your 1 minute starts from now. Your 5 minutes starts from now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I would like to thank the Minister for Finance for his forthrightness and his love for our country, and to thank His Excellency the President and the Cabinet of the government for thinking about the future of our country and trying to address one of the most significant challenges that we have faced over the last years. But of course, I am happy that my colleagues have demonstrated the need to support this policy, except to say that they must share in the glory. But Mr. Speaker, at the time we were going to the IMF in 2022, Ghana's reserve could only support 0.8 months, less than 2 weeks of import cover. And yet somebody said he started gold purchase program and gold for reserves, but ended up without reserves and had to go to the IMF because after printing a lot of cedis, they struggled to externalize the cedis to pay external obligations and needed now to go and tell the world that they cannot pay. But Mr. Speaker, we want people to understand that nobody pumped 10 billion into the economy. Mr. Speaker, we inherited a reserve of 8 billion. 8 billion. As we speak, we ended the year 2025 with a reserve position of 13 billion. How do you pump 10 billion out of 8 billion and end the year with 13 billion? So clearly, nobody pumped 10 billion into the economy. And that continuous peddling of falsehood will not become the truth. The truth is that we took off reserve of 8 billion. We have added 5 billion to push it to 13 billion. The 10 billion that financed the economy is an intermediation of the economy's own generation of forex. It is not money sitting at Bank of Ghana, which we call people and pump them the money. So please, that has to disappear. But Mr. Speaker, my colleague also made a very important statement that I want to associate with. It is important that we understand that this is going to cost a lot of money. And as a country, we must think around how to finance all these ambitious projects that we intend to embark on. The emphasis is to convert CD resources into forex resources. Certainly, when you undertake that, it also means that the reserves that we are building, Ghanaians are going to work to produce the gold. Ghanaians are now going to get a lot of money, so definitely the central bank must now incur the cost of mopping up the excess liquidity. And as a country, we must engage in a conversation to share the cost of mopping up that excess liquidity so that it doesn't sit entirely on the books of the central bank in an attempt to solve a major problem, for which our tool is to assist with the central bank. But Mr. Speaker, we also have to understand that inbuilt in this exercise is the need to have a robust risk management system. A couple of years back, in 1999, for those of you who are old enough, you would have heard that the Bank of England offloaded its stock of gold. Immediately, gold prices collapsed, and our own golden share at Ashanti Goldfields became a problem because the shares at Ashanti Goldfields plummeted. As a result, we had to sell the golden shares to Ashanti Gold. And it was because we had hedged our gold into the future and we were being called upon to make margin calls of about $250 million that Goldfields didn't have. And so we need to understand that it is not enough to pile up gold at the Bank of Ghana that will be facing risk when in fact it is the forex that you need. So you need to assess how much of gold you need to keep vis-a-vis the forex that you have. And so when the central bank decided to liquidate about 22% of gold resources at the bank, it was precisely to manage the risk. That is why you did not see a fall in the reserve, but rather an increase in the reserve to 13 billion. Do you want to keep gold alone so that when gold prices plummet, then all your reserves disappear? You must have a risk management tool that allows you to balance what you need to keep. And our peers across the world were doing an average of 80 to 22% of their reserve in gold. And therefore, we decided to also follow the same footstep by making sure that we liquidate the excess gold so that we are within the 20 to 22% of gold reserve in our portfolio. That was what was done. It is not that
Honorable member, your time is up. Your microphone is off. It's now the turn of Honorable Chinibo Afoku. You have 5 minutes, beginning from now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to comment on the statement made by the Minister for Finance. Mr. Speaker, I listened carefully to the Minister for Finance, and I know it's following the same trend that we know, that the economy is doing well, macroeconomic indicators are looking good. But Mr. Speaker, the little bit that I would require of our Minister of Finance is that whenever you're giving such indicators, please, let's know what is happening across the world, the globe. Let's know what is happening in our sub-region so that we can make some inference, we can do some comparisons. Because, Mr. Speaker, it's not just Ghana. The trends that we are seeing, it's not just Ghana. I had the opportunity to be in Monrovia where we had a high-level discussion on the convergence to have the eco coming upstream end of next year. And you could see that within the sub-region, all the macroeconomic metrics that we are patting ourselves in the back, they are equally doing well. But then you ask yourself, even in Ghana, Mr. Speaker, what really are the needle movers that are really supporting the macroeconomic indicators that our minister spoke about? The gold, Mr. Speaker, yes, gold now, we're touting ourselves that we want to build reserves. But look at gold board itself. All the risks that we have rather introduced into gold board, the risks that we have introduced into gold board, if we wanted to better make gold board a better institution, Mr. Speaker, what we are doing now is rather introducing risks into gold board. If you look at the structure now, we have one institution at the very top called Bauer Company Limited. This company is the only institution, Bauer Rock, is the only institution that is aggregating all the gold that we are getting from this country. Mr. Speaker, this is significant risk to this country because all that we are saying is, yes, Bauer Rock has gotten this security or guarantee to be able to underwrite these gold. But Mr. Speaker, let's ask ourselves, why would you allow just one company to bear such significant risks? It's just too much risk for one company to bear. So, Mr. Speaker, now we want to build significant reserves, and we have this company that has been exposed so much that any trigger on the guarantee that is producing will send us flat, and this policy that we are bringing across will just flop completely. So, Mr. Speaker, I would rather advise that we look at managing the risks of gold board to ensure that this entity that we are relying on to help us build the reserves that we are hoping to get, the reserves that we are trying to boost, we manage the reserves in order to ensure that this company is run well and the risk is well managed. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member. I'll give the floor to Honourable Felice Ofosu Kwachi.
This guy.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to comment briefly on the presentation made by the Minister responsible for Finance. Mr. Speaker, this has to go down as one of the most forward-looking economic policies envisaged by any government, because we do know that the Ghanaian economy for many decades prior to last year had been undermined significantly by challenges with the extent of our reserves and the implications that it has on the depreciation of our currencies. Indeed, as the minister highlighted in his statements, previous governments have attempted to address our forex concerns through expensive borrowing. And he indeed showed that in the 8-year period that our friends on the other side stayed in government, they had to cough out $3.4 billion and 7.3 billion Ghana cedis in order to borrow up to $21.4 billion to shore up our reserves and protect our currency. Even then, our currency suffered a catastrophic decline, which then imposed severe hardships and suffering on the people of Ghana. It meant that a succeeding government was going to have to toe a different line in order to achieve the objective of having significant reserves in order to protect our currency. And this government has proven resourceful in coming up with this arrangement to ensure that we overcome this perennial difficulty. Our friends have a penchant for being quick to claim credit for the successes chalked in the last year in terms of the gains made by the Ghana cedi. They claim it is a product of some policy initiative implemented by the now flag bearer and former chairperson of the economic management team. Mr. Speaker, when he suits them in one breath, they say that he had absolutely nothing to do with economic management and that it was the responsibility of somebody else to manage the economy. And then in another breath, they insist that the same man who had nothing to do with the economy was able to single-handedly impose a gold for reserve policy on the government. So they have to decide what they want. They have to decide where they stand. Was the man in charge of the Ghanaian economy or was he not? He could not have been in charge and also not be in charge at the same time. They are going to have to decide and stay consistent. Mr. Speaker, the records show that the gold board arrangement, which is responsible for the successes that we have chalked with the Ghana cedi, was contained in our 2020 manifesto. It was proposed as a solution to perennial shortages in forex accumulation and depreciation of our currency. We also do know that that whole gold for reserve policy was a Hail Mary attempt. Mr. Speaker, I'm sure you follow American football. So you do know that in the course of American football, when one team is losing and the minutes are winding down, the clock is winding down, they take a long shot in the hope that they will score. After they depleted our reserves, they were desperate and therefore had to resort to this gold for reserve policy, which was riddled with opacity and a lack of transparency. So they have to tone down on the efforts to usurp the work done by the gold board. They must give credit where it is due. In any event, how is it that they were able to implement this gold for reserve policy and yet our currency depreciated to the extent that it depreciated? How is it that the policy that they say was ingenious did not yield any results? And that at the same time that they were implementing the policy, our currency was tumbling. Our currency has responded to the policy initiative of this administration, and as we speak, Ghanaians are feeling the relief. Exactly. Everywhere you go, Mr. Speaker, the prices of thousands of commodities and items on the markets have come down. Yes. And it is a direct consequence. It is a direct consequence.
Honourable member, your time is up. Honourable members, let me bring it to your notice that I am not the one controlling the time. The IT department is the one that is controlling the time. When you are left with a minute more, then the light will be blinking. If the light is blinking, that doesn't mean your time is up. Once the time is up, you will be cut off automatically. So I'm not the one controlling. It's now the turn of Dr. Kabirutia.
Mr. Speaker, just before the last speaker from our side, the minister responsible for government communication. He used the Hail Mary. The Catholics are offended. The Catholics are offended. Mr. Speaker, the second deputy speaker is a Catholic, and he's not happy of that. So it should be expunged. It should be expunged. He said it was a Hail Mary attempt. It's an insult to the Catholics.
Honorable Habib, I think you are out of order. It's now the turn of Dr. Kabiru Tia.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Your 5 minutes start now.
Mr. Speaker, the minister responsible for finance has started what arguable is going to be the death of a policy that I thought would have survived beyond today. And he has committed 3 sins. And those sins are actually speaking to the bad omen around this policy. First, the sin of selective amnesia, Mr. Speaker. That sin is so fatal that if you choose to give history of Eurobond issuance for a particular 8 years, losing sight of years before, it is the first sin that is going to spell the doom of this policy. Mr. Speaker, the second sin. The second sin is a sin of propaganda, Mr. Speaker. That when you want to highlight a policy to rally around the house, get everyone around, you must acknowledge leaders of old, of yesterday, who have initiated similar things of which you are building on. It cannot be true, and it's never true. And it ought not to stand in this house that this is the first time that we are contemplating as a country a policy for the accumulation of reserves that is anchored on natural resources or commodity. It cannot be true. And the house of this house should reflect that the Bank of Ghana has initiated this policy. The Bank of Ghana has acknowledged, the current relationship of Bank of Ghana has actually acknowledged the previous attempts by previous leaders to accumulate reserves. So that's the first thing. Mr. Speaker, the second thing I want to correct before I even go to the substantive is that and that's the third mistake, Mr. Speaker. The third mistake is that when they rise to contribute to the motion, they are failing to be religious to the facts. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Adongo rise up to say that gold reserve reserves were 8 billion. It's a total falsehood. We left reserves of 9.1 billion in the Bank of Ghana report, and it is itself at the Bank of Ghana. It's the Bank of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, the second misinformation is that they were doing 0.8 months of import cover. Mr. Speaker, the Bank of Ghana report stated that we left office with 4 months of import cover in the Bank of Ghana report, which he serves as a board member. Mr. Speaker, that is another misinformation. Mr. Speaker, he's saying that Bank of Ghana is not propping up the CD with annual or monthly introduction of 1 billion United dollars to prop up our CD. That is also another falsehood, Mr. Speaker, because the Bank of Ghana itself has admitted and tell me what they call market intimidation. So these are the facts before this house, and when you write to speak to the facts, stay true and loyal to the facts, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me now come to the broad contours of his policy, the National Accelerated Reserve Program or Accelerated Reserve Accumulation Program. Mr. Speaker, it is anchored on nothing but commodity, Mr. Speaker. Gold, crude oil, cocoa prices. Mr. Speaker, gold is the only one sustaining it because we have had record increase in prices from 2,600 United States dollars to the ounce to almost 5,000 now as we have it. But cocoa prices, crude oil prices, they are all on nosedive, Mr. Speaker. So when you are introducing a policy that is anchored on commodity prices, you must have safeguard and risk mitigating measures. In this policy, Mr. Speaker, there is absolutely nothing in that policy that speaks to the mitigating measures, except to say that they are now going to have what they call if you like, energy sector payment plan or cocoa sector recovery plan. Mr. Speaker, cocoa has been mentioned only with a one line. Meanwhile, cocoa before gold was the mainstay of our country, and there was a major export of their country, and there was what was supporting our economy in those days. So, Mr. Speaker, that is another problem. Mr. Speaker, I'll then come to what they want to do, measures. They mentioned that 20% of large-scale goods is going to be harnessed, and that will translate to something like 0.57 ounces per week. Mr. Speaker, I sat in a meeting at the Jubilee House where large gold miners were called through the chambers of gold miners or chambers of mine, and we clearly stated to them, and they agreed to say, to allow the Bank of Ghana to buy 20% of their gold produce. So what is new? Nothing is new in that particular measure, and you come and present same as if it's a new policy. Mr. Speaker, they are also talking of non-traditional export. We remember President Kufuor took initiatives on the promotion of non-traditional exports. Mr. Speaker, they talk about cocoa sector reforms and the development of new fields. Mr. Speaker, even the new field that they want to develop, it was President Kufuor who discovered the oil. So when you come to this particular house, and you want to present a policy to the government or to the people of Ghana, you must contemplate that you need policy coherence. You need the people of Ghana to support you in this policy. But you don't come with half troops and present it as if it is the Holy Grail, and that for the first time that we are having an accelerated reserve program. It is not true, Mr. Speaker. In the fullness of time, in the debate of the motion, we will expose the lies, we will expose the false.
Yes, it's now the turn of Honorable Kwame Agoja.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Kwame Agoja, your time now starts.
Mr. Speaker, I want to congratulate the Minister responsible for Finance for this ambitious policy outdooring on the floor of this House, Mr. Speaker. Indeed, Ghana can do better if we can build up a reserve for 15 months. Mr. Speaker, I think the presentation also answers one of the requirements of the respected minority leader when he said that the statement must be factual, and the statement has been very factual. Unlike a statement that was quoted using Psalm 23, 118 to 23, which is full of non-factuals. Mr. Speaker, did I hear my colleague criticizing this policy? You see, your problem is that you are pretending to have a reason to criticize everything. Dr. Kabiru, where is he? He's even left the room just after our presentation. When you were doing the gold for oil policy, you didn't even bring any paper to this house to present to members of parliament. This is the difference between you and the NDC. Let me tell you this. I heard Dr. Kabiru talking about, we didn't say anything about cocoa. I wish he was here. When he actually said that he sat in a meeting when they discussed, they had a discussion about the gold people. He also probably sat in a meeting that decided to pay $29 million to a contractor to build a road between Savilugu and Walewale. Do you know? Hold on. Because he linked it to cocoa. Let me tell you, the $29 million that was paid the Indian contractor and did no work could have bought 123,000 bags of cocoa. And guess what? The $100 million spent on the cathedral could have bought over 450,000 bags of cocoa. That is what you should have done. But let's look at it. We are saying this. Minority, listen to this. Whether your government match this achievement, we are saying that when you left inflation at 23.8%, today inflation is 3.8%. Are you not excited? Today, they said 90-day treasury bill. You left it at 27.7%. Today is 11%. Today, businesses can borrow money and do proper business. Even including cocoa farmers can borrow cheaper under this government. And the public debt that you left at 61% today is 45%. So exactly what are you doing? Let me tell you this. I heard that, in fact, Finance Minister just told me that, so all along, when you said we had reserves of even the 5 months, 4.something months, you were pretending that we had money. So you go and borrow money from the World Bank and very expensive loans, come and put it in your account, and then be paying interest on it. Who does that? When you are broke, when you borrow money, you apply it to something that can give you revenue. But not knowing, Kenoforiata, all you are doing was to be borrowing money expensively and put in your bank account as if it's yours and be charging interest on it. That is a very lazy way of managing an economy. So what we are saying is this, that these policies are the policies that will anchor the future of our children. That will build reserves so that no more are we going to wake up one day, they say that once the price of a commodity falls, within 2 weeks, the city is falling. Today, I can hear you saying that, oh, look at what will happen and the city will fall. By the grace of God. by the grace of God. The CD will continue to disgrace you. The CD will continue to disgrace you. The CD is stable. Your wishes will never come to pass. You understand? President Mahama is obviously a better president than President Akufo-Addo. And whoever will take over from President Mahama will surely be a better president than whoever you are talking about. So let me repeat. I'm saying that the $100 million you spent on the cathedral could have bought 450,000 bags of cocoa. The $29 million spent on the Balewale road, for which you want no road, could have bought another 120,000 bags of cocoa. So if anybody has cheated cocoa farmers, you have cheated cocoa farmers. Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity.
Honourable members, it's now the turn of Minority Leader. It's now the turn of the Minority Leader.
Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to make a comment on the statement by the Finance Minister. Mr. Speaker, the Finance Minister came to this House with his technical team, sought the leave of the House to present to us a document he has conveniently titled, quote, Ghana Accelerated National Reserve Accumulation Policy 2026 to 2028. And having completed that duty, the 188 of his own side seem not to be excited. Mr. Speaker, we are not managing an economy to talk about numbers that have no direct correlation and benefit to the ordinary people on the streets of Accra. Mr. Speaker, the Finance Minister is here talking about inflation. What is inflation? When you go to the market and you cannot afford and you say inflation. Mr. Speaker, yes, you can, because the Finance Minister came here talking to us about some 15-month import cover. Mr. Speaker, we are not interested in his economic theories. Mr. Speaker, the Finance Minister must know that this House is not interested in his new theories. Mr. Speaker, the people of Ghana, and I start from the youth, you promised them one job, 3 shifts. I expect you as a Finance Minister to come to this House to address us on effort you are making. It's been 1 year. 1 year. Your own constituent, give us data. How many people you've employed? In Jomoro, in Evaregira, in Efutu, the Transport Minister, the Roads and Highways Minister, in his own constituency at Dakru, how many people have benefited from job creation policy? You come to this House, and you tell us 15-month import cover, and you come and spend a whole 1 hour when your people have no jobs. Mr. Speaker, even when you come to the recruitment, it's a complete scam. And I'll explain to you, the recruitment into police, immigration, prisons, you are now even telling the youth that they should go and buy forms. They should go behind computer and do aptitude tests. In this country, how many areas have internet? The youth are spending more. The youth who are already unemployed, they are borrowing to spend, to have access to computer. These are things that you have ignored. You've ignored. you come and sit here and say, macro, nebedi. Macro, nebedi. Omedia was a macro ni day. Finance minister, what's it day? Macroeconomic and accumulation. My friend, finance minister, I'm not interested in your macro numbers. So I'm not interested. I'm interested in the bread and butter issues. Electricity. On paper, you have increased electricity tariffs by over 30%. Now, put the numbers on paper aside. Listen, for those of you who, because you are in government, you are ignoring the realities on the ground. Ghanaians cannot afford electricity. You should know this. These are the things you should introduce policies for reform. How to reform the energy sector. You are not doing that. You come here and say macro. I will not commend you for doing this. I'm not going to praise you. Electricity needs reforms. Those are the bona fides you must pay attention to. Then you come here, you say, and then 15 months, they say Ghana accelerated national reserve accumulation. When you buy electricity, Mr. Speaker, this morning, somebody told me that she used to buy 1,000 for a whole month. Today, even if you buy 2,000 for 1 week, and soon, Mr. Speaker, let us be careful what we tell the people of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, we are talking about electricity. NDC came into office. When they came into office, the first thing they did was to increase electricity tariffs. Instead of pursuing reforms under their own research agenda, they increased electricity, totaling 30%. Mr. Speaker, I repeat, the reality is that electricity tariffs have gone up by over 100% because, Mr. Speaker, the consumption, the people on the street in our constituencies, what they buy is unable to sustain them, and they know the numbers. They know how much they purchased in 2024. They know what they were buying in 2023 as compared to what they are buying now. Mr. Speaker, that is the reality. Next, Mr. Speaker, next is the cocoa. Mr. Speaker, our cocoa farmers have been a supporting pillar of our economy since the days of Gold Coast. Mr. Speaker, this government came into being and they have abandoned all the supporting pillars of the economy. Mr. Speaker, I don't need to be an economist to understand what leads to economic growth. My basic ideas as an entrepreneur are enough for me to know that when you create opportunities, the economy grows. Mr. Speaker, this government promised that upon assumption of office, a bag of cocoa will be increased to 6,000 Ghana cedi. The finance minister says so. The ranking on agri says so. Mr. Speaker, today, they rather have reduced the producer price. At the comfort of his office, he reduced the producer price. Cocoa farmers, wana how onyawo how enya wasem what your office now what say so what's the one more haircut what so you sat in your office and reduced producer price of cocoa. 1,000 Ghana cedis is what you took away. Cocoa farmers cannot pay fees. They are borrowed from the cocoa crutches. They cannot take care of their health. Those matters do not concern you. Then you come and you say Ghana accelerated national reserve. What we demand from you, Mr. Finance Minister, is to immediately restore the producer price of cocoa that you came to meet. If you cannot increase, don't reduce it. If you cannot increase, don't reduce it. That is the reality. That is the reality, Honorable Finance Minister. Mr. Speaker, again, instead of the Finance Minister introducing incentives to grow the economy, he is not. Mr. Speaker, what businesses need is rebates, tax breaks. What businesses need is a proper environment to grow their business. Mr. Speaker, the minister is not offering any of that. There are no incentives in the economy. No employment. No employment. And then you come here, you tell us that indeed we should allow you to create a certain reserve accumulation. What is reserve accumulation? When your own constituents are hungry, your people are tired of the promises. You do politics of sloganeering. Enough of the slogans. Create jobs. Create jobs. One job, 3 shifts. It's you who said it. Create the jobs. Create the jobs. Go to Dansuma, Ablekuma North, Ablekuma South. You follow.
Honorable Minority Leader, the arrangements, please, can you for once listen? You don't want to listen to me?
We're not restricted, and majority
Please,
leader knows.
Minority Leader,
Mr. Speaker,
I do not want to engage in any banter
I'm
with
not.
you.
If you are told me 10 minutes, I'll prepare accordingly.
If you can hear me out.
Mr. Speaker, I must not be cut this way.
The time allocation and the arrangements were made before I took over, and I indicated right from the beginning that I am not the one controlling the time. I am not the one controlling the time. Once your time is up, you will be cut automatically. So please, it's now Honourable members, order. Honourable members, order. Honourable members, can we have some order? Honourable members, honourable members, let me make it clear that I indicated right from the beginning that I do not have control over the time. I did indicate. So once your time is up, it will be cut automatically. So, honourable members, it's now the turn. Honourable members, what is the sense of the House? I think we are speaking for 5 minutes and leaders are giving 10 minutes, double the time. And it's fixed automatically once the time is up. Let me hear the majority leader. Yes, majority leader, what is the sense of the House?
prepare tomorrow.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I think there's some genuine misunderstanding. Genuinely. You are right, but also the minority leader is right. The reason why I say so is that as the debate proceeded, we had actually not taken a decision on the time to be allotted to leaders. We had not taken a decision. But whilst the debate was going on, my deputy whip consulted me and said, how many minutes per leader? And I said, I don't know. Then he said, how about 10 minutes, since each member is speaking for 5 minutes? And I said, well, 10 minutes should be fine, because the main debate is tomorrow. The idea today was just to comment on, whatever the minister was going to say. But the actual debate is tomorrow. So I believe that the communication then went to you that leaders will speak for 10 minutes. I don't know if we conveyed the message to our colleagues on the other side. So I think there's a genuine communication gap. So to deal with this, I think we can even up by agreeing on a 15 minutes.
Yes,
so that we'll add 5 minutes.
We must place on record that no communication came to me. If it came to the speaker before he handed over to me, I wouldn't be able to say. That is why I maintain that for today, I am not the timekeeper. They are keeping the time somewhere. So once your time is up, I have no control. So what is the sense of the House? I am not even the one cutting. Very well. So the timekeepers.
Mr. Speaker.
You see, minority leader, sometimes the way you
Mr.
do
Speaker, don't
things.
take issue with me. With respect.
I'm not taking, I just do not want to go there. I'm just controlling myself for today.
Please.
Just controlling myself.
Mr. Speaker, then you should talk to your side. You should talk to your side. I also deserve respect. You should talk to your side. That side, their behavior. Look at their behavior. They are backbenchers. They don't come into our matter. When your leader stood up, this side kept quiet. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, don't worry. I'm able to take this up. Mr. Speaker, whenever any of their side is up, our side, accord them that respect. Mr. Speaker, you are not the leader. For instance, you are not the leader. Sit down. You are not the leader. Sit down. You are not in leadership. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. You sit down. Let the backbench copy rightly from you. Sit down. Mr. Speaker, our concern is very simple. Ampim, I've heard you, and I will respond to you at the right time. Continue that disrespect. Mr. Speaker, we understood it to mean that the other speakers were going to have 5 minutes each. Like the majority leader explained, nothing was communicated to us. To be frank with you, if I was told that I had 5 minutes or even 2 minutes, I have my notes, I would have chosen which point to pursue. Mr. Speaker, this argument that somebody is keeping the time and the person has clocked in 10 minutes, Mr. Speaker, it wasn't communicated. And Honorable Achampo, we operate in this chamber on the basis of good faith. If indeed what leader said was a true position, you could have gently moved across, communicated to Habib that this is the proposal. We would comply. But when you do this, you create a bad situation for this house and those of us here. And it's unfair. I saw you winking. There are things you can joke with. There are matters you cannot joke with. Because you make me look bad and you make the speaker also look bad. So stop it. In future, communicate well, and let us do the right thing. Mr. Speaker, we need to pursue the debate. I need to go on, and then when I finish, the majority leader can also come.
Honorable members, if you cannot reach a consensus, then I will want to go by the rules. Now, this statement is made under Order 91 of our standing orders. Now, Order 91(4), and I quote, a member commenting on the statement shall not take more than 5 minutes, except otherwise permitted by the speaker. For now, I am presiding as the speaker. I determine whether you can go beyond 10 minutes or you cannot go beyond 10 minutes. So since the House cannot come to a consensus as to the number of minutes that the leaders should speak, I will therefore rule that, going by the order, no leader is going beyond 10 minutes. Now, I will proceed to stand on Order 63 to expunge from record everything said by the minority leader in Twi that has not been translated into English language. Now, majority leader, you have the floor. You are not going beyond 10 minutes.
Your microphone is on.
Yes, majority leader, you have the floor.
Get his attention first. Mr. Speaker, I honestly think that a very important national policy has been presented to us as a parliament. The first time that it is happening, because I hear friends opposite indicating that this is not the first time there is an attempt to create a reserve, and that the goal for, reserve, goal for oil policy was meant to create a reserve. Fine. But at least at that time, we did not have the benefit of a coherent policy document presented to Parliament for us to consider, debate, and approve. Then it would have been part of the records of this House. Today there is a policy document presented to this House, and we are seeking to detract from the importance and the value of the presentation that has been made. I think this is most unfortunate. So, Mr. Speaker, my brother minority leader, it is not every day that you will prevail. You must learn to accept even when you are not prevailing. You have made your point. Everybody has seen that you have made your point. Even I got up and supported your opposition, that unfortunately we as leaders were not told the time. That I admitted. So I don't see the need to continue to engage in a banter with the speaker. Yes, even I am going to suffer that, because I'm going to speak for only 10 minutes. And I've already spent about 4 minutes of that time trying to address this situation. So please, minority leader, let us focus on the business of the day. Mr. Speaker, there's going to be a full-blown debate on this matter. A full-blown debate tomorrow, just tomorrow.
So tomorrow, you will have the opportunity to say everything that you want to say before we approve the policy document. So there's no need for us to spend all the time engaging in a fight. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, strictly speaking, no, listen, please, stop doing what you are doing. Stop doing what you are doing. When you were speaking, I kept quiet and I was watching you. When you were speaking, I kept quiet, I was watching you. I kept quiet and listened to you. When I'm speaking, don't interject the way you are doing. Strictly speaking, the speaker is right. The rules say 5 minutes for every member. When you go to questions, it makes an exception for leaders to ask more than one after the main question has been asked. So where the rules intend to make an exception, they make a clear exception. The rules don't say that if you are a leader, you can speak ad infinitum. No. The rules say 5 minutes for every member commenting on a statement. And that was a statement. And the time is 5 minutes. It is only a privilege that he has conferred on us by allowing us as leaders to speak for 10 minutes. So you can't take the speaker on for allowing you 10 minutes when the rules even say 5 minutes. You can only plead. If you plead and he accepts, that is it. If he doesn't accept, that is it. But this is not necessary. Tomorrow we will have a full-blown debate on the report. Full-blown debate on the report. Please. The speaker is also our colleague. 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 Please. Mr. Speaker. You want fairness here? Mr. Speaker, in keeping with the rules, I will not say much. All I can say in response to what has been said is that this policy is simply to deal with the problem of a rainy day. Today is a sunny day where gold prices have shot up and they are $5,000 per ounce from $2,000 thereabout. We are benefiting from this. We don't know what the future holds. And a visionary leadership, a visionary finance minister has to think about tomorrow if commodity prices are not as good as they are today. Just last week, we witnessed a slump in the price of cocoa. If when cocoa prices were high, we had such visionary leaders and we had saved in preparation for when prices came down, we would not have been demonstrating in the streets. We would have had a buffer to support us to be able to cushion the cocoa farmers. So if you are interested in the welfare of cocoa farmers, you must be interested in this policy that is being introduced today, because it is also to cushion both the cocoa farmer and the gold miner in future when the prices slump. So this is the essence of today. You learn from the mistakes of the past. We did not take advantage in the past when prices were very high. Today, we want to put in place a policy and a mechanism that will enable us to harness the opportunity provided by the huge gold prices to create a reserve that in future we can depend on as an economy. Mr. Speaker, I hear arguments that what is the benefit of a good reserve? Let me just take cement prices. Because of the good policies that have been implemented, the cedi appreciated in relation to the dollar. As a result of that, the current, when you import 60,000 metric tons of clinker, you paid a duty of
16 million Ghana cedis under the NPP government. $16 million Ghana cedis. Now, as a result of the reduction in the dollar exchange rate, when you import the same 60,000 metric tons of clinker, you pay a duty of only 11.5 million Ghana cedis from 16 million. Mr. Speaker, this is the benefit of implementing policies like that. This low price is being transferred to the cement. That is how come cement prices have come down from 115 Ghana cedis per bag to 85 Ghana cedis per bag. That is how come the price of PVC pipes have come down from 15 Ghana cedis per 20 millimeter PVC pipe to 9 Ghana cedis. That is how the price of petrol has come down from 80 Ghana cedis to 49 Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, I can go on and on and on because the policies are translating into the lives of our people. They are paying lower prices. Indeed, I know there are complaints that the prices are not going down as much as the consumers expect, because when they see government intervention, they expect impact that will be higher. But we know that with time, we will get there. But no one can deny the fact that these policies are translating into improvements in the living conditions of our people. Mr. Speaker, the last point I will make, he talked about job creation. The Ghana Statistical Service reported that in the last 12 months, 1 million people have found jobs. In the Ghana economy, 1 million people have found jobs. Go to the Ghana Statistical Service. Ghana Statistical Service. In the last 12 months, 1 million people have found jobs, because the last quarter of 2024, Ghana Statistical Service, the last quarter of 2024 reported, the last quarter of 2024, the number of people who are working.
Yes, Majority Leader, your time is up. Honourable members, the Honourable Minister responsible for finance, at the conclusion of the statement, requests that Parliament do consider and approve Ghana Accelerated National Reserve Accumulation Policy 2026 to 2028. The Speaker has given some inclinations. So based on that inclination, I will refer the statement to the Finance Committee for consideration and report to the House as a matter of urgency for tomorrow. Honourable members, thank you. Well, the sense is that I should add the Economy Committee. So I so direct that the Committee on Economy joins the Finance Committee to give consideration and report. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, kindly consider directing that they should submit their report tomorrow for adoption by this House. We have variously announced that there will be an opportunity to debate tomorrow. So let's have the report submitted tomorrow for adoption by this House.
Yes, Honorable Habib.
Mr. Speaker, a serious government policy like this, they want us to rush it within 24 hours. Mr. Speaker, it's because of what? Mr. Speaker, I don't, it has just been given to us. Members need to read it, the committee need to meet, look at it. So, Mr. Speaker, to say you should direct that they should report back by tomorrow, Mr. Speaker, it's inadequate for the committee to look at it. I don't know whether it's the case that they just want to clear it and add it to the State of the Nation address. And Mr. Speaker, tomorrow we are preparing towards the State of the Nation address. So definitely, and we are closing early tomorrow. And we are moving a motion on the gold reserve to tomorrow that Speaker have said. The gold board issue, the motion will be moved tomorrow. Speaker indicated so. So to say they should report tomorrow, the timing is inadequate, Mr. Speaker. We cannot get the report by tomorrow.
I believe the issue that we cannot get the report tomorrow is neither here nor there. Because if the Finance Committee wouldn't be able to work within that time frame, I expect the members of the Finance Committee to do so. So Finance Committee, as much as possible, if you can present your report tomorrow, why? The House will be able to take your report. Yes, Majority Leader, any indication?
The Minister for Roads is here, so can take his, he can answer his questions. Mr. Speaker, with your kind permission, the road traffic regulations 2026 is ready for laying presentation. So if you can indulge us to vary the order of business to item 8 and lay the road traffic regulations. The minister is here, just laying, and then we can go back to questions.
Yes, the application is to vary the order of business to take item numbered 8. Honourable member, silence means consent. We vary the order of business to take the item numbered 8 at commencement of public business, presentation of instruments. Minister for Transport. Yes. Leader.
Speaker, with respect, I want to draw the attention of Majority Leader to the fact that this is not a one-sided House. Mr. Speaker, as much as possible, he has to engage on the issue of the referral to the Committee of Finance and the Economy. He just came out with the suggestion that they should report tomorrow. Mr. Speaker, at least it is fair that, given the fact that the documents are even yet to be distributed to members, Mr. Speaker, and this is supposed to be such an important policy document, Mr. Speaker, you cannot say that just tomorrow, the Majority Leader cannot just say that there should be a report of this tomorrow, when he knows the Right Honourable Speaker scheduled tomorrow for this House to take the gold board motion, the losses on gold board, which IMF has reported that to be 7 billion cedis. 7 billion cedis. 7 billion cedis is a report, and this House is to debate this matter tomorrow. And then he says that there should be another motion tomorrow. Mr. Speaker, this is a two-sided House. Democracy have an ear for the minority. Mr. Speaker, I would plead with the Majority Leader.
Go and finish the express.
Mr. Speaker, let us build consensus on these matters. Let us on this matter. Tomorrow is too short a time. We can look at the report next week.
Honourable members, at commencement of public business, presentation of instrument. Minister for Transport.
Road Traffic Regulation 2026.
Laid, and it is referred to a committee on subsidiary legislation for consideration and report. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we can now go to questions. Item 6.
Honourable members, item number 6, question time. I will call on the Minister for Roads and Highways to take the designated seat in response to questions scheduled for him. I will proceed to question number 584, standing in the name of Honorable Kwame Animedu Entry, Member of Parliament for Asante Akim Central, to pose the question to the Minister. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I have with your permission, I have the authority of the member to ask the question on his behalf.
Very well, please do.
I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways when the Konongo Zongo to Praso through Driase Road will be completed.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, ministers are encouraged to be here to answer questions. And I've been coming here. Mr. Speaker, can we also say that members who fail to come and ask the questions, the answers should be published. The answers should be published.
Honourable members, I always admonish that we are all members of Parliament. Sometimes certain things flows when the minister is not available to answer a question. Though the minister will write to the House explaining the circumstances. But when we get the microphone, things that we place on record. Our members, sometimes danger begets a man. The cry of distress may summon for relief. So we are getting onto the record what we get sometimes, flowing from what we do to ourselves as members of Parliament. So, Honourable Minister, I will call upon you to do nothing but to respond to the questions.
Mr. Speaker, I will comply accordingly. Mr. Speaker, this is my response to question numbered 584. The Konongo Zongo to Praso through Jase is a 25.6 kilometer inner district road that connects Asante Achim Central Municipality to Asante Achim South Municipality of Ashanti Region. It is an engineered bituminous surface road in poor condition. There are currently no programs on this road. Engineering design studies and cost estimate have been carried out on the road for consideration upon availability of funds. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Member, do you have a supplementary question?
No, please.
Thank you. Honourable Member, this is a constituency-specific question. We'll move to question number 551, standing in the name of Dr. Grace Ayensu Dankwa, Esikado, Kitan. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highway the status of the following roads: Kansa Road to Mampong and Mampong to Abasa, Impinting to Eshiem, Eshiem to Ntamakrom, and Ntamakrom to Ango. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the Kansawuro do Mampong Road, as well as the KNUSC Institute of Distance Learning Road, have been earmarked for rehabilitation under the contract upgrading of selected roads in Esikado, Kitan sub-metropolis area, 6.52 kilometers. The contract commenced on the 23rd of April 2019 for completion by 22nd of October 2020. The to date, 3.4 kilometers of this road has been constructed from gravel to asphalt binder course. The physical progress is so far 61%. The contractor has abandoned site due to delay in payment for works done. Efforts are being made to bring the contractor back to site to complete outstanding work. Future program: the engineering studies and cost estimate will be carried out on the Mampong Abasa section of the road for consideration based on availability of funds. Mr. Speaker, Impintin Eshien Ntamakrom Angu Road. This road is within the Sekendi Takrady metropolis of the Western region. It is a 15-kilometer engineered road in poor condition. There are currently no programs on this road. Engineering design studies and cost estimate will be carried out on the road and for consideration upon availability of funds. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Member. Any supplementary question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I need to know since when the contractor abandoned the site.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the contract period, as I said, was from 2019 to 2020. Obviously, the contractor left site somewhere after 2020 without completing the work.
Any further question?
No further questions. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member, this is also a constituency specific. We move to question number 552, standing in the name of Honorable Felix Akwete Okle, Botiano, English and Manfro constituency.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, with your permission, I would like to come under Order 92 to withdraw my question and to thank the Minister for great work, the great construction work that is happening in my constituency currently as I speak. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Leave is hereby granted. Question accordingly withdrawn. We move to question number 580, standing in the name of Bright Asamoah Brefo, Member of Parliament for BBNE, Amiaso Bakwai.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. I rise to ask the Honorable Minister for Roads and Highways the step the ministry is taking to ensure timely completion of the ongoing projects in the BBNE and Sefi Bekwai.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, there are about 8 different projects under this question. So I'll start with number 1. Subri Nkwanta to Chirano to Akoti Feeder Road. Mr. Speaker, currently this
was awarded under a contract titled Bitumen Surfacing of Subrin Nkwanta to Chirano Akoti Feeder Road, 24.3 kilometers. The contract was awarded on the 5th of April 2018 for completion on the 16th of September 2020, with a revised completion date of 16th December 2024. The progress of work is currently 100% physical completion. Number 2, the Subri Town roads, that is Bekwai to Suku, Echima, Sonkori, Brankromisa Road, and others. Mr. Speaker, this road was awarded. Mr. Speaker, this is a town road in Bekwai to Suku, Echima, Sonkori, Brankromisa, and Akasu Junction, Akasu Feeder Road, totaling 5.1 kilometers, were awarded as one package for upgrading to bituminous surface. The contract was awarded on the 31st of May 2024 for completion on the 15th of October 2025. The overall progress is currently 35%. The contractor is currently not on site and works have stalled due to delay in payment for works done. Efforts are being made to bring the contractor back to site to complete the work. Number 3, Asawinso Mewa Nkrumah Feeder Road. Mr. Speaker, this road was awarded under the contract titled Upgrading of Asawinso Mrewa Nkrumah Feeder Road, 21 kilometers. The contract was awarded on the 30th of October 2024 for completion by 10th of August 2026. The overall progress is currently 15.2%. The contractor is currently not on site and works have stalled due to delay in payment for works done. Mr. Speaker, Sekhi Atronsu compound, 1.5 kilometers to Ado, Biura, number 2, Alata, and Chira Junction to Chira Feeder Road. Mr. Speaker, this was awarded under a contract titled Upgrading of Sekhi Atronsu Compound Road and all the other names. The contract was awarded on the 4th of October 2024 for completion by 10th of February 2026. Overall progress is 10% physical completion. The contractor is currently not on site and works have stalled due to delay in payment for works done. Mr. Speaker, Dominibo number 2 to Abodiabo Chine Feeder Road. Mr. Speaker, this was awarded under the contract title Upgrading of the said roads, 11.4 kilometers. Contract was awarded on 28th of February 2020 for completion by 9th October 2021. The overall progress is 35%, and the contractor is currently not on site. Efforts are being made to bring the contractor back to site to complete the work. Pataboase Chirano Feeder Road. Mr. Speaker, this was also awarded under contract upgrading of Pataboase Chirano Feeder Road. Contract awarded on 28th of February 2020 for completion by 9th December 2021. Overall progress is 62%. The contractor is currently not on site for works done. Because of a lack of payment for works done, efforts are being made to get the contractor back to site to complete the works. Tanoso to Eduprim Road, Mr. Speaker, is also awarded on the 22nd of February 2023 for completion by 11th of April 2024. The overall progress is 78%. The contractor is currently not on site to the same reason, lack of payment for works done. Mr. Speaker, Basin Gele to Mframankrum awarded on 19th of August 2028 for completion by 28th of October 2021. With revised completion date 28th of August 2023. The overall progress is currently at 64.3%. Contractor is currently not on site. Department of Urban Road that is the next one. The Department of Urban Roads has 3 ongoing projects in BBNE with a total length of 13.48 kilometers. Completion of these projects will improve the road and drainage conditions of the municipality. The projects are at various stages of completion. Mr. Speaker, current program on A, B, and C all look similar with very little work done, maximum 46.72%. The contractors are off-site. Efforts are being made to bring the contractors back to site to complete the outstanding works. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Member, any supplementary question?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. GS International, a Chinese company which was undertaking the BBNE Township Road, was suspended its work because of
Honourable Member, you are to ask supplementary question. Do you have any supplementary question?
It appears that most of the roads that the minister talked about appear to be given to one contractor, and that has the potential to delay the work.
What is your supplementary question?
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I'm done.
Honourable members, we move to question number 597, standing in the name of Alhaji Alhassan Momoni, Member of Parliament for Salaga North. You have the floor.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways the steps the ministry is implementing to fix the following roads: Palbe Vani Road, Palbe Jinlo Road, Tantuani Palgone Road. Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the Palbe Venier Road, 12.5 kilometers, and Palbe Jinlo, 11.7 kilometers roads are in the northeast Gonja district of the Savannah region. They are access roads linking the Palbe township to the Vani and Jinlo communities respectively. They are partially engineered roads in poor surface conditions. There is no program on this road currently. Engineering design studies and cost estimates have been carried out on these roads for consideration upon availability of funds. Mr. Speaker, Tantuani Palguni Road. Mr. Speaker, there is no program on this road currently. Engineering design studies and cost estimates will be carried out on this road for consideration upon availability of funds. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any supplementary?
No supplementary question. Thank you.
Constituency specific, we move to question number 610, standing in the name of Dr. Goffred Sedu Jasao, Wa East.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways when rehabilitation works will commence on the following roads: Wa Bulenge Kundugu, Wa Logu Jeyiri Tuosa. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the Wa Bulenga to Kundugu Road was awarded in 2 lots under contracts entitled Upgrading of Wa Bulenga Yala Road, 6.37 kilometers, and Upgrading of Wa Bulenga Yala Road, 37.74 kilometers. A, the first one, that's the Wa Bulenga Yala Road. Contract commenced on the 3rd of March 2020 with a revised contract completion date of 30th September 2026. The project is at 68% physical completion. Works have stalled due to delay in payment for works done. Efforts are being made to get the contractor back to site to complete outstanding works. The upgrading of Wa Bulenga Yala Road, 37.74 kilometers, awarded on 8th of January 2026 for completion by 2nd August 2028. The contractor is currently on site and work progressing. Wa Logu Jayiri Tuasa Road. Mr. Speaker, this road is been awarded under title Spot Improvement of the above road, 121.60 kilometers. The contract was awarded on 19th of September 2024 for completion by 11th of May 2026. The overall progress is just 6.2%. The contractor is currently not on site and works have stalled accordingly. Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity.
Member, any supplementary?
Mr. Speaker, I wish to thank the Minister for he's done a lot of work so far on this request. And,
thank you. We move to question number 613. Standing in the name of Honorable Shelley Che, Echima Mubiaja South Constituency.
Mr. Speaker, I seek your permissions to ask, and I have the authority of the member, Honorable Shelley, to ask the Minister for Roads.
Once you have authority, please ask a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways when construction works will resume on the following roads. 1, we also Amanshia, Nkarie, Nkrafwasi, Ntawanum Junction, and Ntabamunum. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Do we have?
Mr. Speaker, we also Amanchia Road was awarded under contract titled Rehabilitation of also Masiaso 19.5 kilometers and Critical Access Road 5 kilometers. The contract was awarded on 28th of June 2024 for completion by 29th of June 2026. Physical progress stands currently at 35%. Contractor is currently not on site. Efforts have been made to get the contractor back to site to complete the works. The Nkawie Nkran Fuasi Road. Mr. Speaker, this was awarded under title Upgrading of Nkawie Kuma Nkran Fuasi Feeder Road, 17 kilometers. The contract was signed on the 10th of December 2020 for completion by 5th of November 2023. Overall progress is just 10% and the contractor is off-site. Mr. Speaker, Ntabanum Junction to Ntabanum Road. Mr. Speaker, this was awarded under a title Upgrading of Ntabanum Junction, 12 kilometers. Contract awarded on the 23rd of December 2024. Works commenced on the 10th of February 2025 for completion by 10th of August 2026. The overall progress is currently at 15%. Contractor is currently on site working. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any supplementary?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask the Honorable Minister whether there is timelines to this process. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister, any timeline?
Mr. Speaker, the first part, which is we also to Amanche, the completion date is 29th of June 2026. Number 2, Nkawie to Nkramfwasi, the completion date has passed, so the contractor is not on site. And then the Ntabanum Junction to Ntabanum Road, the completion date is August 2026. So the contractor is within the time period.
Any further supplementary question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Minister, what are we doing to bring the contractor on site? Thank you.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, many of the contractors are off-site, as I said, even before 2024 election, because we owe them over 40 billion. Last year alone, the finance minister paid over 9.8 billion to retire a portion of the over 40 billion we owe contractors. Indeed, that means that we have a lot more to do. So So as much as possible, we'll continue to work hard to find resources and pay contractors so that they can go back to site. It's indeed a very difficult situation for both residents of the public and the contractors, for the contractors off-site and not working. So we'll continue to work to make sure we get resources to pay them so they can return to site and work. But as part of our annual maintenance programs, we actually program normal maintenance works on those roads to make sure they are motorable whilst we wait for the contractor to come and complete outstanding works. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
That'll be all, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much.
For the opportunity.
We move to question number 619, standing in the name of Dr. Albert Tetenyakote, Member of Parliament for Yilok Provo.
Thank you, Speaker. The honorable member has authorized me to ask permission from you to ask the question on his behalf.
Please do.
Speaker, the honorable member for Yilo authorized me to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways when work on the Somanya to Pong Road will resume after the contractor abandoned the project in January 2025. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, indeed, the contractor abandoned site, as I said, before 2024, but the contractor has since returned to site and works have started, and is actively working on a box culvert, retaining walls, and storm drains at kilometer 6 on the Somanya Pond Road, and drainage works at the Asite Road. Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity.
Any supplementary question?
Speaker, that will be all for now.
Thank you. Question number 640, standing in the name of Honorable Chinibu Akodia Fokuo. And so, Nkwanta.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways why the upgrading of the Pechi number 2 to Antokrom feeder roads, which is 21.3 kilometers, then Trede to Pechi number 2 link road, which is 2.4 kilometers, and critical access routes, which is 0.95 kilometers, have halted and the contractor has vacated sites. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the Pechi number 2, so Antokrom feeder road, 21.3 kilometers, Trede Pechi number 2 link, 2.4 kilometers, and critical access roads, 0.95 kilometers feeder road, were awarded under a contract titled Upgrading of Pechi number 2 Antokrom feeder road, and all the above, Mr. Speaker. The contract commenced on the 8th of July 2024 for completion of 7th of July 2026. The overall progress is currently at 34%. The contractor is currently not on site and works have stalled due to delay in payment for works done. Efforts have been made to get the contractor back to site to complete outstanding works.
Yes, Honourable Member, any supplementary question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to know from the Minister when will the outstanding interim payment certificates for work already executed be paid to the contractor? Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, as I said, as of the time President Mahama took over, contractors were owed over 40 billion Ghana cedis for works done and not paid for. We have since retired 9.8 billion of that, which is the highest ever payment to contractors within a period of time. It's the record payment. But as I said, if you owe even 40 billion, you pay even 15 billion, it presupposes that you still owe a lot of people and you have to find the money and pay. We are working hard to continue to pay contractors so that they can return to site and complete outstanding works. And we continue to do that on a daily basis, Mr. Speaker.
Any further question?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I would like to know from the Minister if there are revised dates for completion of these roads? Because, I mean, from what I'm getting, it's like, yes, they are not completed, there's no money. But do we have revised dates for completion of these roads? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the good news is that the contractor is still within the contractual period because this project is supposed to be completed somewhere around 7th of July 2026. So we are not yet there. We are not out of contract, so there's no need for a revision of the completion date yet.
Any other question?
Mr. Speaker, thank you. This is to get a bit of information to the Minister. Minister, I would like
Honorable
to...
Member, the rules allow you to ask supplementary questions, but not to give information. You may see the Minister
Thank you.
outside
Thank you, Mr.
and
Speaker.
give
Thank
information
you.
to the Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Minister, are you aware there is no third road at all in the Manson Kwanta constituency?
Honorable Member, file a specific question.
Mr. Speaker, I'm
You are
sure
not to
the
answer.
Minister can answer this question.
Question overruled.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm guided.
Thank you very much. We'll move to question number 192, standing in the name of Honorable Vicente Kwasafwa, Member of Parliament for Old Tafu. You have the floor. Very well, very well. Thank you for the guidance. Honorable Minister, thank you so much for attending upon the House to respond to all the questions scheduled for you. You are accordingly discharged. I call on the Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment to take the designated seat and respond to the questions. Minister having seated, I will call on Honorable Vicente Kwasafwa to pose a question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment what specific measures the ministry has instituted to address the growing Wunim Red trend among the youth, which many regard as a threat to discipline, morality, and responsible citizenship in Ghana. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Sorry. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment, in response to the increasing usage of drugs and substance abuse among young people, the Ministry, in collaboration with its agency, the National Youth Authority, launched the Red Means Stop campaign, also known as Unim Red, as an initiative aimed at creating awareness on the negative effects of substance abuse on March 26, 2025. Mr. Speaker, the Red Means Stop campaign aims to create a powerful youth-led advocacy movement through direct engagement, peer-to-peer outreach, and community mobilization. Key objectives include recruiting and training youth advocates, organizing high-impact events, deploying multi-channel campaigns, building a visible youth-driven movement, and fostering community partnership. The campaign has been successfully rolled out across all 16 regions of Ghana, reaching every district in the country. This comprehensive coverage ensures that youth in urban and rural areas, as well as students in various educational institutions, are exposed to consistent anti-drugging messaging and support services. Mr. Speaker, recognizing that meaningful behavioral change requires multi-stakeholder engagement, the National Youth Authority has established strategic partnership with key institutions and organizations to amplify the reach and impact of the Red Means Stop campaign. The authority partnered with two traditional leaders, namely Kintaki Teku True II, Garmanch of the Gan traditional area, and Yana Abubakari Muhammad II, the overlord of Dagbo, who were engaged to lend their support to the campaign, as some communities in these regions were identified as hotspots areas on Red. The authority also partnered with Bike Life Ghana, a prominent youth movement with motorcycle enthusiastic community to engage urban youth demographics through creative and cultural relevant platforms. This partnership has facilitated the integration of anti-dragging messaging into youth culture, lifestyle events, making substance-free living aspirational among peer groups. The authority again collaborated with YFM, one of Ghana's leading youth-focused radio stations, which has been instrumental in amplifying Red Means Stop messages through regular programming interviews, call-in shows, and public service announcements. This media partnership has significantly expanded our reach among young audience who actively consume youth-oriented content. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry, together with the National Youth Authority, actively participated in the High School Party in the Park event, a major gathering of second cycle institutions. This platform provided direct access to thousands of young people, enabling peer-to-peer conversations, distribution of educational materials, Red Ambassador recruitments, and real-time engagement on substance abuse prevention. The event demonstrated the effectiveness of meeting youth in their social space with relevant, non-preachy advocacy messaging. In a strategic move to enhance the campaign's appeal and credibility among the youth, the National Youth Authority has appointed renowned Ghanaian musician Medical as an official Red Means Stop ambassador. Medical's significant influence among young Ghanaians, particularly those his music and social media, through his music and social media presence, makes him an ideal advocate for substance-free living. As Red Means Stop ambassador, Medical serves as a visible role model, championing anti-drug messaging through his artistic work, public appearance, and social media platforms. His involvement includes participating in schools outreach, featuring Red Means Stop themes in music videos and performances among young people, and engaging with young fans on substance abuse and dangers, and supporting peer advocate training and mobilization initiatives. Mr. Speaker, building on the momentum generated by the research that the ministry conducted, the campaign launch, strategic partnership, and celebrity ambassadorship, the National Youth Authority has developed a comprehensive roadmap for intensifying interventions against the UNIM red trend and broader substance abuse challenges. 1. Nationwide billboard campaigns. The objective is to create high visibility public awareness across all 60 regions through strategic billboard placements that reinforces the Red Means Stop message in high traffic areas. The billboard will be strategically positioned in the following high visibility locations: major highways and transport corridors, city centers and market areas, school zones and youth gathering points, bus and taxi terminals, sports stadiums and entertainment venues. The billboards will provide constant visual reinforcement of the Red Means Stop message, reaching millions of Ghanaians daily. This sustained public awareness will normalize conversations about substance abuse, reinforce peer norms against drug use, and remind youth and communities of the dangers associated with opioid and substance abuse. 2. Expanded youth advocate mobilization. The authority plans to recruit 2,000 plus Red ambassadors across all regions. These youth advocates will serve as peer counselors, event organizers, and grassroots mobilizers in their respective schools and communities. Training programs will equip ambassadors with skills in peer-to-peer communication, event planning, digital advocacy, public speaking, and community mobilization. 3. Event-based outreach activities. The next phase includes conducting 500 plus school outreach events annually, organizing Red Means Stop rallies and youth festivals in communities, executing concert tours featuring popular youth artists, hosting inter-school sports tournaments, promoting substance-free athleticism, and conducting talent showcasing in drama, poetry, dance, and arts with substance abuse prevention themes and messaging. 4. Multi-channel campaign amplification. Plans include intensifying social media campaigns on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and WhatsApp, producing and distributing television spots and documentary contents, implementing weekly youth-focused radio programs on multiple stations, engaging additional influencers and celebrities as campaign ambassadors, and producing creative arts content, including music, drama, visual arts, and poetry competitions. 5, institutional partnership and policy development. Future initiatives include strengthening collaborations with the Ghana Education Service, the Ministry of Health, and the Narcotics Control Commission, establishing red advocacy clubs as permanent features in second cycle institutions, developing comprehensive substance abuse prevention policies for schools, creating referral systems, connecting students to treatment and rehabilitation services, and engaging religious institutions, traditional authorities, and community leaders as anti-drug advocates. And then 6, the authority will conduct periodic surveys to assess changes in youth attitudes and behaviors, track red ambassadors' recruitment and engagement levels, monitor social media reach and engagement metrics, collect testimonials and feedbacks from participants, document best practices, lessons learned, and generate regular reports on program activities and impact for continuous improvement. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, the Ministry and the National Health Authority's comprehensive response to the undue trend and substance abuse crisis demonstrate a serious commitment to protecting the Ghanaian youth. Through rigorous research, nationwide advocacy campaigns, strategic partnership, celebrity ambassadorship, and planned intense interventions, we are building a powerful movement against substance abuse. The upcoming billboard campaigns represent a critical next step in creating sustained public awareness and reinforcing anti-drug norms across all communities, combined with expanded youth mobilization, event-based outreach, multi-channel campaigns, and institutional partnership. These interventions position Ghana to make significant progress in curbing substance abuse among young people. Success will require continued political will, adequate resource allocation, sustained stakeholder collaboration, and most importantly, the passionate engagement of young people themselves. The Red Means Stop movement is their movement, and they are leading the way to a drug-free Ghana. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry will continue to monitor and assess the impact of these interventions, review them when necessary, and explore other means to ensure that youth engaged in drug use are sent to the country's rehabilitation centers for proper care. Thank you.
Honourable Member, any supplementary question?
Thank you very much. Right Honourable Speaker, to be fair with the Minister for Youth and Empowerment, I know this question was actually filed about 6 months ago. And with his answer with respect to
Your supplementary question is about
yes, that's what I'm doing. I'm just laying a basis.
the amendment. Show me by the rule where you have to lay a basis for supplementary question. Please ask a supplementary question.
Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the Minister for Youth if he is having resources to be able to embark on the billboard campaign that he is telling us about.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
I didn't hear you. If you could repeat your question.
Yeah, you can repeat your question.
I am asking if your ministry has the resources to be able to embark on the billboard campaign.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't believe any ministry has enough resources to undertake all the projects that they want to do. But what we've been able to do is we have been able to engage some private sector players to support us in that campaign. For instance, when we were doing the research, we got a private sector person to fund it. Government has made some allocations, but we believe that we will need more. And so we'll mobilize the needed resources to embark on that campaign. Thank you.
Any further supplementary question?
So in short, the ministry doesn't have the resources to do that. My second question to you is that you seem to have relied heavily on a media campaign. Have you decided or have you actually done physical engagement in all the 261 districts across the country? Because media campaign may not be enough.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Within the last 1 year, the ministry has conducted some research work in our major tertiary institutions across the country and all our second cycle schools across the country. And it is based on that data that has informed the strategy that we are deploying. Thank you.
Yes, your last supplementary question, if any.
Minister, my last question to you is that have you identified specific hotspot areas or high-risk areas where you think that this issue is very prevalent? And for that matter, you have specific intervention to deal with those areas, especially in our communities and our schools. Communities and our schools. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the answer is yes. That is why, for instance, in the northern region, we are working with the Yana because Tamale is one of the hotspots that we've identified. The Greater Accra region is also one of the hotspots we've identified. That is why we are working with the Gamanche on this initiatives. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to know from the Minister that since he has done enough engagement, I would like to know his targets. What is the numbers he's looking at now, and what numbers should we expect that after the campaign it will reduce to? Because he said he's been able to do
Yes,
that.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It will be difficult to state what the numbers are. The problem we have with the drug menace is that people don't volunteer information easily. But from the data we have, from the research we conducted, especially within our tertiary institutions, we know what the numbers look like in terms of percentages. Our dream or our plan or our vision is that we want to reduce those numbers drastically. With the interventions we are doing, we intend to do another survey at the end of the year. And based on that, we'll be able to measure. Now we have a baseline. And so when we finish the survey this year, based on interventions we've done, we'll be able to tell. And then that will give us a sense of direction as to what we'll do next when we have that information. Thank you.
Yes, no.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Please, I want to ask the Minister if there are any counseling services or rehabilitation programs rolled out by the Ministry as part of this initiative.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Almost all our tertiary institutions have some counseling services in place. We've also engaged the Mental Health Authority to work with them in that respect. We've also engaged the private sector. What we realized that most of the referral facilities are owned by the private sector, and so we've engaged them. The only problem is the cost for treatment. And so we are still in touch with them through the Mental Health Authority to see whether that cost can be reduced. But almost all our tertiary institutions have places for referral where they have some counseling services that are rendered to students who undergo such challenges. Thank you.
Yes, honorable members, we'll move to question numbered. Honorable members, we have a third day. Yes, leadership.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Speaker, I heard and read from the minister. I heard from the minister and read from the answers he provided that he is collaborating with two major stakeholders, that's the Gamanche and the Yana. I want the minister to tell us the kind of collaboration, how, when, what is happening with this collaboration so far.